Welcome to a super duper exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined here yet again by Kevin Bastos.
Yet again.
Welcome.
Not an intro you love. Again.
At least you're here.
True.
You made it. Yes. As did Justin Pinto. He made it.
I made it.
Hi, Mr. Pinto.
On time. Everybody's good. Everybody's here.
Close enough.
The Sea Otters are not here.
No,
there was someone.
They're always late. The Sea Otters are always late.
They're
always early. That's the problem.
They're done with lunch. They're
snack
done
time.
With everything. Speaking of snack time, so Frozen 2, another great weekend this past weekend.
60% drop, though, right?
Still holding the number one.
Oh, yeah, sure. Was anyone here betting on Playmobil movie?
So,
it came in at a solid like 16.
Did you see where Playmobil ended up? Not one, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or 14. So it made went out of control there. $660,000
under a million.
23.
It's more than I made this past weekend.
2,300 theaters. So it averaged $282 a theater.
Ouch.
Also more than I made this weekend.
True. No.
I didn't do anything.
Residuals?
No.
Like, your salary is over a time frame, though.
Just for the 193.
Fair. All right. Fair.
Knives Out holds at number 2. Ford vs. Ferrari holds at 3. Queen and Slim 4. Beautiful Day at the Neighborhood. They all held their spots in the top 5.
What else was new? Anything?
I don't think there was a single new movie except Playmobil. And Knives Out was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Joker, solid 11.
Dark Waters, serious jump up.
Yeah.
Is that first wide or something?
Well, yeah, it went. Hey. Yeah, it went wide.
Had to get it out in the release for the Golden Globe nominations
was
early.
Worried about Playmobil, the movie?
I don't think so.
I don't understand why Jumanji didn't come out this weekend.
Yeah, but that would have been.
Or the other movie. There's another big release next week or this week.
There's like 3 this weekend, right?
I think there's a couple big ones.
We're throwing things around. Bye.
We'll get to that point.
Come on.
In a minute, but yeah, I don't know. And again, Playmobil came out like months ago internationally, did not do all that well, and then it just slowly kind of wound its way to the United States.
Well, they're bringing all the copies. They just have to keep moving them.
That could be it.
It's not actually digital. It's actually on reel. It's traditional reel-to-reel.
Sadly, would not be surprised.
So they had to bring in.
There were 0 people out there that were really hankering for a Playmobil movie outside of the guy pitching it and whomever backed this turkey. So.
Just so you know, so Parasite was at 13. It made $700,000. It made $40,000 more. It was in 333 theaters. And Playmobil was in 2,337. That's a rough opening. One of the worst openings in wide history.
Joker's in how many theaters now? Under 2,000 theaters, right?
That's 956.
Under 1,000 theaters. Came in 11th.
Although I imagine there'll be
So it's got legs, I believe, as they say.
I've heard that. Something tells me next weekend Playmobil is not looking for a big bounce.
You think it's going to drop?
Yes.
50% drop or more?
I would doubt it even is in 500 theaters by Friday.
Well, give it till next Friday, and it won't be many places because
it will be 0.
There's another small film coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, speaking of small films coming out in 2 weeks, they're not in 2 weeks, but over in the summertime, a couple trailers have finally come online. We have Wonder Woman 1984.
It's a very well done trailer.
Oh yeah,
the music.
I have to say, there's one part of it I did not like.
Okay.
The last part with the garbage can.
Oh, I don't quite get the point, but
I thought that was the shot actually cuts the garbage can
out of it.
The shot. Yeah, I'm like, no, that was a bad cut. 14 times. I had to go back and look at it again.
He is wearing a fanny pack.
I understand.
So, Chris Pine died in the last one, right?
Yes, he did.
Well, somehow they bring him back because the bad guy, I think, has something to do with it.
And this is 70 years later, right?
Yes.
Okay, or so, roughly. It wasn't the first Wonder Woman.
World War II to 1984.
Okay.
Was it World War II or World War I?
World War I to 1982. Yeah.
I was like, World War II,
It's like 60 or 70 years later.
It might be conscience or,
Well, didn't the guy say in the trailer, like, I did something, you'll have to, and you'll pay me back or something, the bad guy? The presumed bad guy?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously makes the assumption that there's something with this. And there was this watch and stuff like that that shakes. But
there's something going on.
Looks pretty fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Maybe better than the last
especially when she's lassoing the lightning bolts. And
sound is really great in it. The song they picked is delightful. I mean,
what did she say? Like something about lies? Like, there's a quote in there about lying.
I actually was multitasking when it was on, but I thought, this is brilliant. I have that teaching thing that goes on much of my day, so, back and forth. But
I usually wait till I can turn sound on. Because what's the point? You can't listen to the sound. Then you're like,
the last time I have off is fourth period. So.
Well, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. At the end of fourth period, Mr. Bond, I said, hey, maybe I should ask you guys if you want to do a show today. So I was like, that'd be great. Let me go teach for 5 hours straight.
So it looks like they're going to blow some stuff up in this
like
one.
It. Like it.
There's going to be lots of exciting stuff. And, of course, 80s being a great era to go back, even though it's going to be forward for the characters. Here's your shot.
Yes.
And there's no garbage can.
Right.
Yeah.
There's.
Well, it's like the lid. You can see it like a little bit.
But it's
not well. Yeah, it's not well
done. Terrible.
Another trailer that also... Are you excited about Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I don't know if I'm excited about it, but I did kind of enjoy the premise of what was going on. I'm intrigued how we got where they are.
No.
Mm-mm. Well, and obviously...
I will go see it.
There's Paul Rudd.
There's no doubt that Stranger Things style, this whole kid and thriller kind of style.
Oh, Stranger Things, yes. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons. Have you?
Yes.
Good?
No.
Not as good as the first one?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
First one was excellent. Second one was kind of crummy.
Third one?
Third one was better than the second one.
Okay. So we're not excellent, but we're not crummy.
Right.
Okay.
Like after the first season, I was like, "This is a great show," and after the second and third, I was like, "I'll watch it."
So Afterlife is going to pick up, supposedly, after. So the Ghostbusters reboots thing is now in its own universe, separate, I guess, from the original 2 movies and this.
So we've got like a Terminator thing going on.
We're
just selecting what we like and what we don't like.
Right.
Okay.
And where's the animated series fit into it?
Or Halloween.
Very also true.
Obviously, kind of.
Where are the cartoon people? Come on.
That's the question.
I used to like the cartoon. That's my age, my generation.
Do you remember the original Ghostbusters?
You mean like the movie?
No. There's the original Ghostbusters, and then there was another Ghostbusters animated series that was terrible.
I think I'm the original. I think I'm the original.
No, you're not. You're thinking the... What, when
you say, how old it was? But Ghostbusters came out like in '84.
I understand.
When did the cartoon come out?
Well, the first Ghostbusters cartoon, I want to say, was early '70s or some such thing.
Oh, then I definitely like the second one.
Yeah, it came out before the actual Ghostbusters movie.
Interesting.
And they came back and started re-airing the old television show that was terrible. And they just kept saying, it's the Ghostbusters. And then the Ghostbusters cartoon came out with the ones from the film. They called it the original Ghostbusters, even though it was not the original Ghostbusters.
You had the real Ghostbusters?
Real Ghostbusters and the original Ghostbusters.
And the original Ghostbusters.
Right. So, to make it more confusing, you're welcome.
I mean, I just used to watch it when it was in the 80s or 90s or whatever.
Skeleton guy and a gorilla. It's terrible. Just awful.
And didn't Slimer get his own cartoon for a while? Or am I imagining that? Or was that just talking
There's like spin-offs on spin-offs.
It did get his own high C flavor for a while.
It did.
Ecto
Coolers.
No, I think it was Kool-Aid.
I will say...
I don't know for sure.
All right.
I will say it was cool to see the Ghostbusters vehicle go flying through the air.
I mean, I'm intrigued as to what's going on. Like, how do we get to a farm?
I will watch it.
Why are we at a farm?
I don't know.
I believe I saw both movies. I don't remember a farm, really. But now, was it mentioned, like, in passing that they had a farm or something?
And there's a lot of little tips in here about, there hasn't been any ghosts in 30 years. And, I mean, that's you're led to believe, assuming that these kids are
children
Harold Ramis's children, or grandchildren, I guess. So it's interesting. And obviously Paul Rudd is a big fan of the Ghostbusters.
Isn't correct me if
his
I'm wrong,
character
isn't
is
the
the
one kid in the trailer a kid from Stranger Things?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. 100%. Yes.
The tricky part is you get to those kids that age. I mean, he looks like he grew a lot in the last,
in the last year?
Well,
Well,
he's probably gone from like being what, like, 13 to 16 or whatever,
He
probably.
also missed 2 seasons. I think they worked really hard at making him seem younger than they were, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, 14, 15 hits.
Well, that's the tricky part.
Like 9th grade boys, some of them are wee little things.
Well, when you
and
have
some of them
like
are grown men.
they had the same problem kind of with Game of Thrones. I mean, you get these kids when they're 8, 10, and you're going to do the show for 8 years.
Well, they changed out a couple of them. Tommen is 3 guys, right?
I don't know,
I think Tommen was 3 kids. And somebody else was at least 2.
but the main character, like,
Mains were all the same. Your main characters were the same.
So I'm
know.
sorry, I'm on the Ghostbusters.
I was gonna say he's looking up Ghostbusters.
All right, so we had
cooler.
3
so
series.
Filmation in 1975 did the
Yes.
live action television show
So-
The Ghostbusters.
Live action.
There was a real live television show, and it was awful.
Then and then Filmation did a animated TV series.
When was that?
This says 86. That was Filmation's Ghostbusters.
Oh, so terrible.
And that was the sequel to the 75 live action television
Yeah,
show.
that was like cashing in on a craze.
But then the movie was its own kind of version of Ghostbusters, and then had its subsequent animated television show, The Real Ghostbusters, which came out 5 days later, it says. But Columbia Pictures tried to get the rights. This was when they were... I know in the commentary track they talked about they weren't sure up until right before they released the movie whether or not they were going to be able to call it Ghostbusters, and they were concerned because Filmation owned the rights to it. Columbia Pictures was trying to get it from them.
Tricky thing about these rights.
And then
I want to make a movie. I don't know, call it, Purple Rain. So let's see if I can get the rights to that.
go for it.
Well, the funny part is I'm almost done with it, and it comes out in a couple weeks.
I've said Purple Rain like, 3,000 times. That'd be pretty easy. I know, like,
we can just dub that
Warner
out.
Brothers and Prince are pretty, giving with their rights. Should be no problem. I'll just call them up tomorrow.
Do you know I did? I did get it. One of these articles took me down. We're talking about like editing it. Took me back to Ryan Reynolds making fun of the mustache.
Oh gosh.
Ryan Reynolds seems to have like apparently a great trend of like making fun of what's going on in popular culture at the given time. Oh, maybe it was his Snyder Cut thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
He said his
saw
movie. He said my movie. This movie come out. It's really the Snyder Cut, but we didn't tell anybody.
Fantastic.
He's a smart dude. It took him a long time to finally get where he was. Did you ever watch that 2 guys in a pizza place or whatever it was?
I've
2
heard of
guys
it.
and a girl?
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
so terrible. He was the only talented part of it.
Yeah.
Now people from the show are like, I worked with Ryan Reynolds. You're hired. We need you. It was on that show. Hold on. Did I say we needed you? Wait a second.
I was trying to think what was the film I saw. Like it was one of his first.
Mystic
saw
Pizza.
recently.
Did you ever watch Mystic Pizza?
I don't know. I'm familiar with the name and I'm familiar with the
Obscure
concept.
Julia Roberts movie.
Yeah, I don't think I did watch it.
I think it was one of those she made before she was famous, and they brought it out
My
again.
favorite
and they
obscure
were
bad
like,
movie is Better Off Dead.
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah,
That's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
You could not watch that film today.
Well, that is true. I do not have the time to watch it today.
No. I'm just saying, you could not air that film. You could be like, let's watch Better Off Dead. Oh, did they just say that? Oh, no, that, you can't. 16 Candles? Nope. No,
yeah,
no.
things age themselves out.
Poorly.
It does, yeah.
It might have been Blade Trinity that I did not
Blade
realize
Trinity
that he was
he's
in.
in, yes.
Superhero. He's been in all kinds of superhero
right.
movies.
It still weirds me out that from the original Fantastic Four, Human Torch became Captain America. People don't know that. Like, I pull it out and I'm like, look, kids, look this. What?
Speaking of things people don't know,
Yeah.
the Golden Globe nominations came out.
Well, even after you read the list, it's tough to know what's going on.
So, as we know, that the Oscars and Emmys have gone hostless. Is that a word? Host without hosts. But
Sounds better.
The Golden Globes is continuing to get Ricky Gervais to do. So let's take a quick look and see, first of all, how many of these movies are actually out.
Joker.
Best Picture nomination.
So Best Picture
Drama.
Drama.
The
yes.
drama category.
I feel like it could have been in both. It's a comedy in parts.
Sure.
He's a comedian.
Sure. I feel Martian.
Well, wait,
You got 1917 Marriage Story. Of course, The Irishman. There's a big deal about
And I've heard it's terrible.
The Irishman.
Have you watched it?
No, not yet.
my one friend said it was really good. I've heard it's bad.
I heard very split.
Terrible. So
He said great.
And it
Right.
was almost. It sounds like that. There's just a fear of making fun of or saying bad things about a Martin Scorsese film when you've got
Oh, comic book, don't cross Martin.
Joker and the Two Popes. You got any early predictions on his?
Joker. I mean, again, it's the only one I've seen, but woof.
I'm so confused as what falls under what category now, because is it in the theaters?
Listen,
is it on TV? Is it a limited series?
Golden
Is
Globes,
it?
who cares?
It's just the people who win, the people who are nominated care.
43 people who are in charge of the Golden Globes, and they do whatever they want. Bring like Hollywood in, get them all liquored up. They do. It's a big drunken fest.
Well, and I was joking with Miss Sylvester earlier about how the fact, obviously, you have so many, and we need her on the show, don't we?
Yeah, bring her out.
Come on down,
Kelsey. Come on out. Ryan's gonna misquote you here, and you have to correct him. So.
Well, no, I was a quote I was saying, but was just obviously they just keep adding categories because obviously both motion picture and TV they just want to be able to say Golden Globe nominated. So if you have 947 categories and you keep subdividing all of the films,
Yeah, I was reading the list and I'm like, the guy from Chernobyl didn't get nominated. Like, I haven't seen Chernobyl anywhere. Limited series. There's not going to be it's not a Chernobyl 2 coming.
What is the best motion picture musical or?
Hey, well, I'm glad you asked that. It's because
I have not seen the one movie, but I'm confused by the one entrance in the one nomination. Like, I didn't know Tarantino made comedies all of a sudden. Is Once Upon a Hollywood a comedy? I didn't see the movie, but it struck me as more of a drama.
Picture, musical, or comedy? Yeah. Martian feel to it, right?
The Martian. How was that?
And it won. It wasn't just that I was in that category. It won.
All right, so you got comedies and musicals. You were all
got
kind of.
Knives
I hate
Out.
this- so we just brought The Martian in because we had to put it somewhere, and we liked it more than yours, so it won.
And was Rocket Man a straight up? I guess it's musical. I was going to say straight
Right,
up comedy. I keep
right.
forgetting we got.
He sang songs.
For some reason, we got to combine musical and comedy because it
There
could be
was also
separate.
a song in Jojo Rabbit.
Well, Jojo Rabbit's one of those ones too. Like,
Dolomite is my name. Dolomite is my.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh
That's
my
Eddie Murphy, Netflix.
Lanta.
So-
Oh boy, this was the year to bring out movies. The last 2 years was really competitive. Apparently not this year.
I assume Jojo Rabbit's got a lot of stylized humor from the trailers anyway that I've seen. I can't say I've seen the movie, but when you have
Let's continue talking.
when you
about
have
it.
a comedy that's all about Hitler, I just think that there's so
I don't know anything about it.
obviously Knives Out's getting a lot of great credible reviews right now.
That I have read. I've read that it's getting.
I gotta go see that.
And then Tarantino, you got I'm not sure where we're gonna fall on.
Yeah, I don't know, but well, where do we put it? Is it a drama? Kinda. Comedy? Yeah, man. Musical? Put it in there. Just put it in the comedy musical. It's fine. I mean, we said maybe 3 times.
3 years ago, we ran The Martian 3 years ago. We can do anything we want now.
I'm waiting for the movie that's nominated in both categories.
Yeah,
It's
I was
gonna
gonna
happen.
say,
It's
gonna
gonna
win
happen
comedy and drama
somehow. It's gonna happen, and I want to see it. I want to be here for that.
So best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama. I don't know what to say.
We need to make another version of Little Women
Well-
next year.
And of the
Reboot.
Little Women, who
Is the littlest?
falls under who falls into best the actress lead because this is by
I'm
an
gonna go out
actress.
on a limb and say Ronan.
Well,
Did I win? Yeah.
and it seems to me that Bombshell. I finally watched the trailer for Bombshell, which because of course it isn't coming out until now, and this is the whole Roger Ailes.
It's the same as watching
Fox
the movie.
News.
So go on.
sex scandal and all that kind of stuff. But it certainly is being portrayed as almost a comedic type thing. So I'm not sure where the drama.
So was Veep, isn't it?
Of that.
Not Veep. What was the Vice President movie?
Angel Has Fallen.
No, I'm lost.
Ignore me. The Cheney one?
The Cheney movie. The Cheney.
What was it called? Oh my gosh.
That was Christian Bale was right.
Yeah.
What was that called?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I'm sure I
Neither
talked
did
extensively about it, but
I did not see it either.
I think it had a tongue-in-cheek kind of a name. It was a great show.
People
This is the most fabulous.
all the people at home
Inside
are
Weekly.
Yelling,
screaming.
well, all three people.
Oh, it's just called Vice.
Vice.
Yeah,
Not Veep. Vice.
Close. It was, and that was Adam McKay. Yeah, with Dick Cheney.
There you go.
So you got Harriet, Marriage Story, Little Women, Bombshell, and Judy. Are your 5 movies that have best performance by an actress in a drama. Then you got actor in a drama. I was actually in Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory.
I mean, I haven't seen any of these movies except for Joker. But if he doesn't win for I can't imagine going, Christian Bale in that Ferrari movie was way better.
I've got to say, that may be the worst picture ever selected to promote a film. I mean, that's like, nope. I cannot believe that picture was selected. Here's an iconic photo for Ford versus Ferrari, nonetheless.
He's got taken his helmet off.
Whoa. Whoa, he's saying.
Well, watching the trailer for Ford versus Ferrari, for instance, Matt Damon's got a little more of the showy role. And Christian Bale's kind of the brooding driver that has to be convinced to take on the race.
That's also getting good reviews, though.
It just seems like interesting that would be chosen. And that also plays a little bit comedic. I guess there's no straight up dramas or comedies.
Yeah, just put
so you got to feel very bad for everybody that's going up against Joaquin Phoenix because obviously he's got the.
I mean, the Globes is like where he will probably win for sure because the Globes embrace the. I don't want to say like differences or the different kinds of movies and the show. Like, it's always what's hot, what's trendy, what's popular. They seem to really embrace that more than anything.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture. But then we just musical or comedy. I'm sorry.
Musical or comedy.
Yes, it's different. That's why you see Eddie Murphy coming up here.
He's coming, yeah.
Dolomite.
A Dolomite. My name is Dolomite.
I mean,
I might have to watch that now.
What, Dolomite or the Golden Globes?
I don't watch the Golden Globes. I might watch it on fast forward.
Oh, you can't sit through everything. Well, it's way too long.
And you got to ask: would Leonardo DiCaprio be happy to win the best actor in a musical or comedy?
He's done. Pass. He's got an Academy Award.
He won an Oscar.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like a People's Choice Award now.
Well, I guess
It's like showing up for the Razzies or something.
You don't think he's going to be there?
I'm sure he'll be there.
Or just his people.
It's one of those things where you show up, so you get nominated for the Oscars. Everyone goes to the Golden Globes. Everyone goes to the Golden Globes because the Academy Awards nominations comes out like 2 or 3 days later, right?
I will not be at the
you won't be there?
I won't either. No.
So let me show. Let me just read a few things that came out at this CCXP, which would be Comic-Con experience down in Brazil, is happening.
Oh.
I'm not there either. I was not there.
A number of great things happened. Birds of Prey posters finally debuted.
Yeah, it's not real good.
Okay, Wonder Woman 1984 character posters.
We got the trailer. I'm good.
The first footage from the Batman movie.
Yeah, that didn't look too good.
Okay.
The picture.
None of these stories are getting you excited here. How about The Conjuring 3 finally has a title?
Oh,
Are you excited?
It's called? If I did read the name.
The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
If I had $1 for every minute I spent wondering what The Conjuring would be called, I'd have $0.
Shazam 2 officially announced.
Oh, good.
So that's
that was good news. Yes.
Yeah, that is good news. I did not know if they'd go with the second one.
Kong punching Godzilla. So apparently,
I heard this.
They showed a little bit of footage of Kong. What's it officially called? Godzilla versus Kong.
Kong punching Godzilla.
I think that is the official name.
Called Godzilla versus Kong. And there was a shot in this quick footage they showed of Kong taking a punch at Godzilla while people did screen captures, and then suddenly it started vanishing from the internet. So I don't know. There.
I have not seen it.
Exciting news: some Baby Yoda merchandise.
Baby Yoda
has appeared. Merch is showed.
Merch.
They showed a little Eternals footage, and then, as you said, Ryan Reynolds made a joke. So Six Underground, which is, I don't know if you've seen any of the other stuff where he's talked about how Michael Bay is, so Six Underground is a Michael Bay directed film coming to Netflix. Ryan Reynolds is the star in it, and then they're acting like it's going to be this really touching movie, and this is, they do this whole huge campaign about how Bayism and how much Michael Bay there is in this film. But then he made this joke that at CCXP that this was the Snyder Cut.
That's pretty funny.
Which people have been
clamoring for.
It's pretty funny.
I want to watch the Snyder Cut. I would like to see what they could do different.
In
the Justice League.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
When they
just
say there's like
about-
No, the actual Snyder
I
Cut.
would like to
a
see
5-hour
any
version?
other cut of that movie there is. Any other cut.
I feel like if they just
there's
released it straight to DVD or Blu-ray, I
Right.
feel like they would make a lot of money. Because I think there's a lot of people that would buy it just for the set,
Oh, I would watch it just to see if
I would
there's
go
something
buy it
else
just so I
that's
could see it.
not garbage. Oh, boy.
We're almost out of time.
No.
A couple quick strange stories. So Star Wars 9, Disney is sending out a letter to theater owners warning about seizure risk for people with epilepsy because there's...
Just like I read the article, Incredibles 2 had the same thing.
But it seems like there's a lot of films that have a lot of... that you would think... I don't know. I guess this is going to have more than its usual share of it. And then, big story, Disney has earned over $10 billion at the box office this year.
Oh, that is a big story. Speaking of that, The Lion King is nominated for Best Animated Film.
Except it's live action.
I mean, I get that it's not really live action, but it wasn't really the animated version of the live. I feel like there's an animated version. It came out like around 93-ish, maybe, right? The first line.
But yes, I think.
And then we redid it in the live remake category, but now it's nominated for Best Animated. So I was a little caught off by the...
I like that. A little crazy.
Golden Globes, they do what they want.
Yeah, right. Right.
Is this animated? Well, this
But
computer
actually,
graphics.
Turns out they
probably.
actually nominated the 1993 version this year. So
Avengers had a lot of animation. Put it in the animated category.
animated.
This weekend, Black Christmas. What goes better than horror movies and Christmas? Bombshell, like I talked about before, which is going to center on the Fox News scandal. Richard Jewell, Uncut Gems, and of course, Jumanji: The Next Level.
Any of those should have come out this past week.
Yes.
Before we hit the big Cats versus Rise of Skywalker showdown
The week after.
the week after. So we'll have to check and see. I assume Jumanji, is it going to have enough to take down Frozen 2?
I think Jumanji has to.
Okay.
Very short.
Huge. Okay. We'll have to check the
1 week?
we'll have to check the box office reports next week on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.